Okay, here's a true story. I don't know if you've heard of divining rods. They can be used for locating water sources and even large tree roots. And I had an old-time farmer here in Idaho teach me how to do that using just an ordinary metal hanger, bent in just the right sort of way. And no kidding, I was able to do it in just a matter of hours with probably 95 plus accuracy. Well, here what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use your fingers as divining rods. Okay, and so you'll see that in just a moment. So first off, we need 12 random cards, and hopefully you saw that I kind of mixed the cards there fairly well. Well, really well, actually. 1, 2, 3, maybe there. I think that's 12. And the spectator's free to mix these as much as they would like. And then we need to separate them, or have the spectator separate them into 2 piles of 6 cards each. So maybe we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Okay? And then they're free to mix these as well. Okay? In fact, they can choose either pile as, quote, theirs, though it really won't matter which one's theirs. Okay? So why don't we say this is their pile up here, and this is mine right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of convince ourselves that we have a good selection of cards here. So there are the spectator's cards, and here are my cards. And if the spectator's not happy with the arrangement of these cards, they can mix them further if they would like. And if anyone's bothered by the fact that we have 4 black in a row, we could replace one of those by a red. Okay, so you could do that. That would be fine. Okay, so what we do is we turn our piles down like this, and then we perform a very simple randomization step. It's just a left-right shuffle. A spectator's free to do this for theirs. Okay, and now the spectator can decide how we stack these. Right on left for mine, left on right for theirs. Okay, that's a free choice by them. Now what I need the spectator to do is freely cut and complete the cut of their pile, and they're free to cut my pile as well wherever they would like. Complete the cut. That's great. And now we're going to deal out, I see 1, 2, 3, leave the other 3 as a second pile. Spectator can do the same. Okay, and then we'll do the same sort of thing. They can decide stacking order. Maybe they want right on left for mine, and then this left on right for theirs. Okay, now at this point, the spectator is 100% in charge of how many times we do certain things and the stacking order. So for example, what we're going to do to further mix these cards is just deal them out into 2 piles like that, with random stacking decided by the spectator. Right on left. Okay, now the spectator can decide how many times to deal these 6 cards out into 2 piles. Maybe they want left on right. Okay, and maybe they're happy with just 2 dealing outs. Okay, now for their pile they can do no dealing outs, or 1, or however many they want. Maybe they want right on left. Now I believe we did 2 down here. Maybe they want left on right here. Well, maybe they want to do 4 dealing outs, and honestly I've lost track. Is that 2 or 3? It doesn't matter. Okay, so maybe they'll do 1 more here, but they can do as many as they like. Maybe they want right on left. Okay, very good. And now from here, what we're going to do is I'm going to take these cards, and I'm simply going to Klondike pairs of cards to the table, like this. Pairs of cards. This is where you take the top and bottom off as 1. So it's a great way to put together random cards from the packet, actually. Okay, and now this is where the divining rod comes in. So I'm going to use my left hand to try to sense if there are any red pairs here, any matching red pairs here. And let's see, my fingers are going to kind of help us. Oh boy, I'm getting a clear. Yep. Oh boy, that was clear. It looks like there's exactly 2 matching pairs of red cards. Okay, so 2 of these consist of just red cards. Okay, what about black pairs? Do we have any? And by the way, if there's 0, my hand kind of goes like this or like this. you know, where it's clear, but let's see, any here, how many? Whoa, I'm getting it. Oh, is that 3? Yeah, it looks like it's 3. So 3 black pairs. So I believe it was 2 red pairs and 3 black pairs. Okay, well, let's just see how well my divining rods are working here. Okay, so 2 red, 3 black. Oh, okay, there's 1 black. 2 red, 3 black. Okay, there's a couple of black there. We're looking for 1 more black. Oh, here's a 3rd black. For my divining rod to have worked correctly, these are both going to have to be red pairs, and they are indeed. And you can learn to do this in just a few minutes. Okay, so let me quickly show you how this works. Okay, so you truly do need just 12 random cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In fact, why don't we just do 2 pairs of 6? We'll kind of skip that step so that we speed things up a little bit. These are truly random cards. Random cards. Okay, so here's the secret. Okay, so we're using, man, how do I keep getting all these blacks? Let's not do that. It just makes it look a little suspicious there. Why don't we do another red or something? Okay, that's a little better. Though we could have worked with it as is. I don't know how impressive the finale would be if, like, everything's black. Then of course you're going to have all these black pairs. What about here? I wonder if I mixed these cards very well before filming. Okay, well, not too bad, I guess. Okay, so what is the secret? Well, I'm using principles taught on the Absolute Math Magic channel. I will add a link to a playlist that teaches you about what's called improv card magic. Okay, and if you watch that, you'll learn really everything that we're doing here and much more. Okay, so what I'm doing here is we're supposedly just showing this to the spectator to show how well mixed they are and that we have a good selection of cards. Now, what I'm secretly doing from top to bottom, I'm counting. So there's a pair of red. So in my mind's eye, I'm thinking, in fact, if you want to associate it with your fingers, I had left was red, right was black, right? So it's like having 1 finger out, 1 red, 1 black. Okay, so we have 1 of each. And then this is a non-matching, okay? Do we have any matching here? Oh, we have another black, okay? So it's kind of like having this, right? You have 1 red and 2 black pairs, right? Okay, so you would just bring these together. Don't change their order within each of those. And now what we're going to do is, it is true that you can do this left-right shuffle, and this is going to convert the packets to what are called cyclic packets relative to the pairings that we just noted. You are free to stack these however you like. Because these are technically cyclic relative to the pairings, you can freely cut the cards wherever you like. It won't hurt that structure or that characteristic. Okay. And then from here, what we did was we dealt out 1, 2, 3, kept the other as a second pile. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, kept the remaining 3 as a second pile. Randomly stacked these. Maybe they want left on right there. Now it's, quote, mirrored. It's a mirrored packet relative to those pairings. Well, now the stay stacked principle kicks in. Oh, and I can add a link in the description below to that. That means for each divisor of the packet size, you can deal out the cards into that many piles with random stacking from left to right or right to left. Okay, so we truly can do as many of these as you like with stacking decided by the spectator. That's important. So we did 2 there. Maybe we'll do 3 here. Maybe they'll stack like that. So in some sense, none of this is hurting or harming the mirrored characteristic or structure of that packet. Okay. So when you have mirrored packets relative to certain pairings, you can bring those pairings together again by just performing a Klondike shuffle. Take the top and bottom off as 1. So these will end up being those very pairs that I noted, right, when I counted. Okay, and go 1. Okay, Now, do you remember how many red pairs we made note of? I believe it was 1, right? How many black pairs did we make note of? 2, right? Okay, so you could kind of pretend that you're using your fingers as a divining rod here. So we're looking for red pairs, you know, and then you just go bing and go, well, I think there's only 1 red pair in here. We'll find out. And then check for black pairs. Oh, I think there's 2 black pairs. That was a pretty clear impression that I received. Okay, so 1 red pair and 2 black. Let's see if we got it. 1 red and 2 black. Well, there's 1 red, 1 black. Apparently we need 1 more black and no more reds. Okay, we got 1 more black. We are just praying to high heaven that these are of opposite color within each pair. Otherwise our divining rod's broken. Okay, and they are. Okay, so that's the secret, and if you want to understand the mathematics behind this, take a look at the Improv Card Magic series. And also the stay stack principle is a very powerful principle in mathematical card magic that you may want to learn more about and how to use it. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.